The other big breaking news that came in from the Middle East today as the war between Israel and Hezbollah escalates. Synchronized pager explosions have ripped through Lebanon, leaving several people dead and over dozens wounded. Hezbollah has described this incident as the biggest security breach and has sparked widespread panic and confusion. The group hasn't directly accused Israel of being behind the operation, but it has said in a statement that it was carrying out an investigation to determine the cause of the blast. Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, Mojtaba Amani, was also reportedly injured in one of the explosions, as per the reports that are coming out of Lebanon. To talk more on this and to help us understand this entire context of what exactly would have happened there, I'm joined by Major General Sanjay Soy, defense expert. General Soy, welcome. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Mirror Now. This is massive. These are synchronized pager explosions that have happened throughout Lebanon. At the outset, let me first understand from you, is it the first time that such synchronized pager explosions have happened, or have we seen such incidents in the past as well?
No, Shreya. In fact, I would say that this is the first time in the warfare that this kind of synchronized attacks through the pagers have taken place. In fact, if you see this, who is using pagers these days? In fact, in India, I've not seen anybody using pagers now. In
Yeah.
fact, it was introduced in the beginning before the mobiles came into play. This was being used by the Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And this is an encrypted communication which could go through the pager, and it was very difficult to monitor, very difficult to locate from where the messages are going, because if they use any other means of communication, then the very easy for the Israeli surveillance agencies and surveillance system to identify the location from where the signals are emanating, whether this is emanating and from where and when it is going, whether air going to some air defense unit or some rocket unit or a missile unit. But with the pager, it was very, very difficult. They used Hezbollah very smartly, were using the very old time technique to beat the modern surveillance system, I would say. So this is the first time which has happened, and I would say that Shreyaji, that Israel has done a lot of homework on it, because who was using it? It was only Hezbollah fighters who were using it. No common man was using it. And Israel has planned it probably, if we think of two things which have happened. One is during the manufacturing stage, they have made this kind of connection which could short circuit and battery could be exploded, because ultimately the explosion would have taken place in the battery only, and which could take place probably because of short circuit. Second thing which has happened is they have been able to infiltrate into the network or their network, their frequency on which their data was going, on which their pages were working. So as a result, the whole system has suddenly collapsed. And the fear psychosis didn't come into the Hezbollah, because in the modern day warfare, Shreyaji, if you see, everything happens because of communication. Your rockets are somewhere, your air defense unit is somewhere, your infantry unit are
Which is what
somewhere,
I was
tanks are
coming
somewhere.
to next, General Soy. The fact that we are seeing these synchronized pager attacks, the fact that these were carried out at this time, also points to the kind of new warfare that we are seeing now in today's times. This is clearly, as you said, an attack on networks, which is basically a big cyber attack, if we can call it that. And therefore, the cyber warfare that we keep talking about, the new emerging kind of warfare that we're now witnessing, is now playing out in front of us.
In fact, if you see these days, warfare is not restricted only to the battlefield. It is everywhere. And
Yeah.
otherwise, if you see, cyber warfare could be of many types. One is attacking your network, attacking your systems, hacking it, infiltrate, sending virus, or hijacking it, taking a hostage, so that your railway system, aircraft system, airport, hospital, everything comes to standstill. Second thing is, this is the first time which has happened is where probably a system is exploded. The bomb is exploded. We have heard many cases of virus and hacking, but this is the first time where a pager had exploded. So that means it was during the manufacturing stage. They had put some systems there which probably could short circuit and explode the battery. And this means, imagine that all the Hezbollah fighters were carrying a bomb in their pocket, generally, and which has exploded and caused almost, as per the latest report, I think more than 2,500, around figures are touching almost 3,000 casualties, which is a huge blow for the Hezbollah. And second
Yeah.
thing, because this cyber attack, which I was saying earlier, Shreyaji, that they've been able to infiltrate into the network. They've been hack it and infiltrated, find out their frequencies in which then they could send the message. And the moment that innocent looking message came, the pager exploded. So it was a very, very well planned thing. Now, impact. Can you imagine the impact on Hezbollah? Should I continue? You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, General Soy, in fact, for viewers who are joining us, let me also tell them those are visuals of the attack that happened. As you can see, that explosion taking place on your screens. And such type of explosions have happened across Lebanon today. Thousands of people have been rushed to the hospital. In fact, reportedly, the media reports that are coming out of Lebanon suggest that hundreds and thousands of people have filled in the hospitals across Lebanon. But General Soy, my last question to you, using pagers at this time obviously is a strategy to go undetected by militant groups like Hezbollah. What could be the other ways which, such terror groups might be using to go undetected? Because, nobody would have thought about pagers at this time, but here we are seeing a synchronized pager explosion. What could have been the other, undetected devices that might have been used by militant groups?
If you remember that Osama bin Laden never used to use any mobile, any communication, anything. It was only by the slip. Very old method, very old system. So I think that is another thing. But the pagers were one thing which were being used, and wherever the messages could be sent, SMS could be sent. But if that is sent by SMS, is also comparatively less detective than the WhatsApp or other means of communication. But the pager was, say, couple of generations back, that technology. So Israel and people had moved on, and they never thought that somebody would be using it. That way, Hezbollah was very smart and using it for their operations work. And it with this destruction, this is kind of thing, because now there's a total panic in the ranks and files of Hezbollah. They have told everybody to throw the pagers away and as far as possible. So it will have a tremendous effect on war fighting capacity. Because now whatever Israel does, they will not be able to respond. They will not be able to carry out coordinated attacks. They will not be able to carry out coordinated operations, and they will not be able to respond to the air attacks, missile attacks, or drone attacks by the Israel, because the pager was one mean which could warn their air defense unit, which could warn their rockets unit, and they could carry out
through
the
which they were
coordinated attack.
communicating.
It will severely impact the war fighting capability of Hezbollah, and Israel has done it with a long term planning using their intelligence. People used to say that Mossad has failed in the Hamas time, but time and again, after that, we have seen that they have been very, very successful in eliminating top leadership. And now you see that the video which you are showing is people on the billing counter, people in the market, all those Hezbollah rank and file are getting
those
injured
multiple
or
explosions,
being
of course,
killed.
General Soy, taking place across Lebanon today. We will have to see how Hezbollah responds, when it does and where it does. But I'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much, General Soy, for joining us on Mirror Now and helping us understand this new emerging cyber warfare that has rocked Lebanon. Thank you very much.